Sonic Rumble was first announced to the world on May 8th, 2024, and after a year and a half of development hell that rivals Sonic 2006 and Grand Theft Auto 6's development, the game has finally had its global release. Sonic Rumble's gameplay is in many ways a Fall Guys clone, but with its own signature Sonic the Hedgehog twist to it. Today I'm going to share my review and give some thoughts on all the good things and bad things about this game. The game is available on both mobile and PC on Steam, which has very mixed reviews with only 48% of players giving it positive reviews. Let that number sink in for a minute, that's less than half. For comparison, Sonic Racing Crossroads has 95% positive reviews, Sonic X Shadow Generations has 97% positive reviews, and even one of the most highly criticized games, Sonic Forces, has 55% positive reviews. How is it possible that Sonic Rumble has lower review scores than even Sonic Forces? When reading through some of them, they say delay after delay after delay, and all we got from the wait are overpriced skins and a microtransaction hell, which is expected from a free-to-play mobile game, but the delays really killed the general hype of this game, which is honestly so sad. I wouldn't be surprised if this game dies out in a couple of months with a low player count compared to other better Sonic games we currently have out there. Sonic Rumble really fumbled. Another review says, I would like to play and ignore the $46 skins and 3 battle passes, but there's a daily ring limit and 2 pop-up ads after every single game reminding me that there is 15 different ways to spend an absurd amount of money and play as Sonic in a hoodie. It's hard to find positive reviews, but here's one says lots of misinformation going around. People are forgetting that this is a free mobile game. Of course, it's going to shove microtransactions in your face every second. That being said, this is not a pay-to-win game. Buying a $60 Excalibur skin is not going to help your skill issue against a pay-to-win kid, meaning movie Sonic. Anyways, the game is a solid Fall Guys clone with a lot of content. Give it a shot with some friends. This moment where we can all play Sonic Rumble is a very long time in the making. After the game was announced in May 2024, they said it would release in winter 2024. They quickly had a closed beta test and announced a roadmap where certain countries would get it early. By winter 2024, nearly every country in the world except the United States had the game. I find it so funny that they even had a Thanksgiving event when the only country that celebrates Thanksgiving did not even have access to the game. Then it got delayed to spring 2025. During that time, everyone else that had the game got to play it and get so many of the characters. We then got a May 8th release date, and of course, just days before that, they go ahead and delay it again. It's funny, a week later, they released a massive update, and everyone who could play the game was saying how great and perfect the game was. And finally, we get the game on November 5th. However, the damage has already been done as the entire rest of the world got to play the game for an entire year along with the 7 pre-seasons. All those players have every skin in the game and have such a higher rank in the millions, it will be almost impossible to catch up. Sure, some events will have reruns, but I doubt that every single event will get a rerun. Even the Movie 3 event comes back nearly a year after the movie was released, so there's no hype left for the event at this point. They should have just released the game back then. So what do I think about Sonic Rumble? Well, let's start out by talking about some of the basics of the game. So when you first join the game, you're greeted with this title screen, which certainly has a lot on it. When we want to play a game, there's several different options, such as a quick rumble, which is basically 1 round. There's a ring survival, which is 3 rounds, a co-op boss battle, squad challenges, stage challenges, and the ability to create or join custom matches. The core of the gameplay is the ring survival mode, which you play 3 rounds against 24 players. At the end of the first round, the bottom 8 players are eliminated, and after the end of the second round, the next 8 players are eliminated, so the third round features only the 8 finalists. Perhaps the best aspect of Sonic Rumble is there's just so many unique stages and challenges that you can be randomly assigned. There's 5 categories being ring, survival, hunt, team, and ring battle. Many levels take some inspiration from iconic places like City Escape, Space Colony Arc, Starlight Carnival, and Silent Forest. Although it does feel like they overuse levels from Sonic Colors and Sonic Lost World. For the run stages, there's 32 of them that you could be randomly assigned. The objective is simply to dash to the goal and avoid obstacles in your way. It's a really fun and simple challenge because there are some crazy obstacles that can fling you away or make you have to try to find a different strategy or alternative route to get around those obstacles. You have to be mindful and look out for the best path, and if you do fall off, you usually don't get too big of a penalty. It really has the feeling of a race. Next, there's 13 survival stages, which are extremely fun. Within these stages, you have to survive long enough until the other players are eliminated. There are things that you need to avoid, such as the Death Egg robot. Sometimes you have to run away from the Chomper, which is trying to eat you. In some cases, you have to stay on rafts or dodge lasers. They get very creative with these levels, and even you have to avoid rhinos that charge you, avoid tornadoes, or even just avoid the rising lava. I really enjoyed several of these challenges, but I think that avoiding the lava is probably the most chaotic and fun of these challenges. Most challenges are rather easy once you get the hang of it. We have 9 hunt stages in the game, which are also very creative, which includes things such as trying to capture the flag, smash as many items as you can, earn points by hitting bumpers, or even stepping onto the most glowing panels. levels. I really enjoy the capture the flag because it's relatively straightforward and simple, but at the same time you have to be quick because if you get hit by many objects, you will not have enough time left and the timer will reset. There's 5 team stages in the game where you have to work together against the other team to do things like destroy most badniks, score a set number of times, or destroy other teams' towers. This is the only mode I don't really like because you're more at the mercy of how good or bad the other players on your team are. And lastly, there's 17 ring battle stages which you simply have to collect the most rings. Where it gets interesting is you will also have to be mindful of power-ups which you can use to steal rings from other players. The ring battle stages are probably my favorite in the game because there's so many rings everywhere and it's easy to find them, but you need to be mindful of platforms that are rising or falling and other obstacles that could whack you or cost you rings. It is extremely chaotic, especially as the timer gets closer to the end. More and more rings, power-ups, and obstacles will start to appear. Another mode that I really do enjoy is the stage challenges. Within this mode, you can play various levels, and if you do things like get to the goal within 80 seconds, you will receive a reward such as some red rings, which is a great way to help you get more familiar with a particular level and earn some red rings, which is very hard to get in the game. And I also really enjoy the option to create custom matches because there's so much customization options here. We can pick either 1 round or 3 rounds and exactly which categories or individual stages we want or don't want in the match. There can even be up to 32 players in a custom match. The other really big aspect of Sonic Rumble is all the characters that you can obtain throughout the game. Some are easy to get through spending of gold rings, some require grinding the game a bit to get enough fragments to unlock them, and some you have to buy with red rings. There's 19 characters with all of the major characters in the Sonic franchise are in the game, and many characters feature various variants of them. For me, I'm going to primarily main Sonic, Silver, and Amy. For example, Sonic has 15 variants such as Policeman Sonic, Gold Sonic, Pirate Sonic, Excalibur Sonic, Vampire Sonic, and others. Silver has 9 variants such as Fireman Silver, Silver's Sir Galahad design from Sonic and the Black Knight, Vampire Silver, and others. And Amy has 8 variants including Popstar Amy, Goth Amy, her original Sonic Riders design, and others. I also really like that characters can be leveled up to increase their score bonuses. Many characters can be equipped with all sorts of different skills that can be useful for various challenges. I really enjoy using the skills because they can be a big help in a difficult spot. There's skills such as a baseball slide, kick, stomp, punch, bomb, attack, and many others. There's all sorts of interesting chow that you can equip that gives you a thumbs up bonus. One of the more interesting things about Sonic Rumble is anytime during the game you can use various stickers. Many are really silly and cute, and I love the art style design on many of them. I also really like there's a lot of different emotes you can collect. You can jump for joy, point, whisper, power bump, stretch, and more. This is a great way to express to other players how happy or frustrated you are in the game. And there's even all sorts of trails, poses, air tricks, and grind tricks that you can even unlock. You may have noticed that many of the skins, chow, emotes, and other stuff I do not yet have unlocked say sold in the shop. This brings us to the big problem that Sonic Rumble has. The game is extremely pay to win. Sure, the basic game is free, so you'd expect some level of microtransactions like what you would have in Sonic Dash or Sonic Forces Speed Battle, where skins and red star rings might be like $5 or $10. However, Sonic Rumble is even more pay to win than Sonic Speed Simulator. Sonic Rumble is being so greedy it almost feels like it's being run by Mr. Krabs.
Hello, I like money.
For example, let's look at Neon Suit Sonic, which is 729 red rings. The only way to obtain him is by buying him in the shop. When looking at the shop, 770 red rings will cost you $46 US. Several other characters like Neon Suit Shadow, Excalibur Sonic, and Witch Rouge are also going to cost you over $40 US. This skin bundle with Toymaker Tails is a bit cheaper for 329 red star rings, meaning you will still have to buy 330 red rings for $20 US. For comparison, Sonic X Shadow Generations currently costs $49 on Steam, and Sonic Mania is $20 on Steam. Those two skins should not cost as much as a mainline Sonic game costs. Those are outrageous prices and the definition of greed. Sure, you should have to pay something for skins, but it shouldn't be more than like $5 or $10. Maybe $20 at most for like a legendary skin, but $46 for Neon Suit Sonic is absolutely crazy. And that's only the beginning. Many skills such as Sonic Spin Dash are 1,500 skill points, meaning you will have to buy 1,600 skill points for $9. There's tons of microtransactions such as the Premium Pass, which is $10. There's currently a Halloween Battle Pass and a Sonic the Hedgehog 3 Battle Pass, which are also gonna completely empty your wallet. But hey, at least the game has some great graphics. The mobile version does chug a bit and lose some FPS, but the PC version runs smoothly. And I've yet to encounter a single glitch or bug. And as for the music, they did a great job to feature remixes of great songs like City Escape, Starlight Carnival, and others. In conclusion, Sonic has been on a hot streak collecting so many W's between the success of the Sonic movies, Sonic Frontiers, and even back-to-back great games being Sonic X Shadow Generations and Sonic Racing Crossroads, yet for Sonic Rumble they kind of fumbled. Delay after delay with no communication along with most of the rest of the world already being able to play the entire game for an entire year really hurt. The amount of microtransactions and prices of skins are absolutely insane. Don't get me wrong though, the gameplay itself is extremely fun and addictive. There's so many interesting and different challenges and obstacle courses that make me want to come back again for more and more. For all those reasons, I give Sonic Rumble a 7 out of 10. That's gonna do it for this video. Make sure to like, comment, subscribe, and remember, you gotta go fast!